Flosstube. It's Heather, also known as Punky Purls. You can find me on Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, all the things as Punky Purls. Oh, Ravelry. If you're a knitter or crocheter, you can find me there as Punky Purls as well. This is a video about cross stitch mostly, but I will also show other crafty things since cross stitch is not my only crafty love. Today I probably will show the quilt that I've been making for Christmas. So if you're not interested in that, I can let you know ahead of time, hey, I'm going to start showing some sewing stuff, and you can start off at that time. First, I want to thank all my returning viewers and my new subscribers. It's really awesome. Like I said in the last video, I never expected anybody to watch these, so I'm really excited that people are. I guess I should start out with, since I never explained my name, Punky Purls. Growing up, my parents used to call me Pumpkin, and as I grew up, it got shortened to Punky. And then about 13, 14 years ago, I started knitting, and you purl and knit, so Punky Purls was born. And I've just used that name for everything, even for my Etsy shop or sewing or anything like that. It's just easier to keep it all one name. I also started a email address with Punky Purls, so if you're interested or have any comments or question about anything I showed or about anything from previous episodes, please shoot me an email and I can get back to you as well. Let's get started. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving if you celebrated this year. Ours was a little different. We usually celebrate with my best friend on Thanksgiving, but this year was a little different, so we were supposed to celebrate on Friday. Things happened, and it was just me and my kids and my husband. We had a 16-pound turkey for 5 of us, so needless to say there was plenty of leftovers, and this is the second year that my husband fried the turkey, which I think is the only way to go now. I don't know, I haven't had a smoked turkey yet, but I hear that's really good, but I feel like that's a lot of work, so we'll stick with the frying. It's super fast, it's really good. I made macaroni and cheese, I made 2 kinds of rolls, the traditional green bean casserole. We had plenty of food for all of us, and we had enough for the next day, and I still have turkey left, so I think I might be making a turkey pot pie this week. Not tonight because I don't feel like cooking, and my son's actually making spaghetti right now because it's easy, but probably later on this week I'll make a turkey pot pie. Did I say turkey casserole? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyways, a turkey pot pie. This week I had, or these last 2 weeks, it feels like it goes by really fast, and I did get some stitching in. I did start a new sewing project, which you can see on the back of my chair, and I'll show you that later. But I did have a finish and an FFO. So we can start with the FFO first. Here is Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle. The pattern's called Don't Get Your Tinsel. It's by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. They have their contest going on right now for cutest finish, so this is my submission. I stitched the project on 32 count petty point on gray and white fabric, and I kind of modified. I made a big mistake in this area. I was off by 1, so I had to omit the red dots. I don't really think you can tell the difference. I guess if you compared the original to what I made, you would tell the difference. I also had to, I'm going to probably have to go back. I guess it's too late, it's going back, but I should have backstitched the get because it's not really, I guess if you put it like that, you can see. For the silver, I used DMC's Diamante, which is better than the regular silver, but it's still like stitching with tinsel. I love how it came out. I used, let me flip it over on the back. You can see what this is. So this is just a wreath from Michael's. I got it on clearance. Don't mind the string. That's coming off when I'm changing the ribbon. But that is a painter stick. So what I did was I cut the end off a painter stick. You can see it hiding in there. So I can take this out of the wreath to store. I mounted the cross stitch on sticky board with quilt batting in there, 100% cotton quilt batting, and then mounted that to a piece of foam core board with some gingham fabric. I also found a matching gingham ribbon and then just some other ribbons, and I made a bow. I'll probably put some more of this ribbon. I have a little bit more left to make some more of the swags. But this one will hang up this year for Christmas. I'm excited that I got it finished. Ooh, let me turn it this way. So this will be my submission for the Don't Get Your Tinsel stitch contest that Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery is having. And I think the deadline for the stitching finishes is the 2nd. Don't quote me. I'll put that down in the notes. And also the FFOs are due in December as well. And they are giving away some washi tape and a really cute bag. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited that mine's done and I can hang it up. And there's that one. So that was my FFO for this time. I had a finish, if you can call it a finish. Also the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, I joined the Christmas Wreath Stitch Along, which is a mystery stitch along, and it's 12 installments. The first one came out this month in November. Here is my progress. I finished this part 1. I had some issues with this, not due to design, due to my craziness and not being able to know how to count. But I was chugging along and doing really good the first day, and then I noticed that there's some icicles here, but my house started over here on the edge of the roof line. So it would have set everything off, and I didn't want to start this year-long project having to remember that I would have to fudge the whole thing for 12 months. My brain doesn't work that way. In fact, most of my stitch alongs, I don't stitch along the whole year. In fact, I'll show you another one maybe next time. I did their animal almanac and I stopped in June. Why? I don't know. Every animal is super cute, but I haven't kept up with it. But this is the one for this month. I mentioned before also that I got this as a kit because I had won another stitching contest for them this summer and used that gift card for the kit. So I got the fabric and the floss, so everything's called for, and it's in my Christmas Punky Purls bag, which, by the way, thanks for going and visiting the Etsy shop during Small Business Saturday. I did have a couple sales, so that was really exciting as well. So thank you for that. The other thing I stitched on, I guess I'll use this, is the Stitches Through the Years. I didn't get very much done on here, and I'm still not really sure if I'm going to continue on this fabric or if it's too light, but I did get some of the satin stitches in on here and a couple of flowers on the border. It's a fun stitch, but I have to pay attention to it, so it's not one where I can like watch a Christmas movie with the kids and pay attention to what I'm doing. I found that I tried that and it didn't work very well, and I was ripping out satin stitches. So there's that one. I also stitched on my Carolyn Manning blue. I tend to prefer PDF charts, so stitching out of paper for me, I know people love it. I am not loving it. I don't know if it's because my eyes are going cross or what. I'm not marking in here that I'm finished either, so that's probably part of the problem. I probably should make a working copy so I can highlight what I've done. Would be smart, but live and learn. We'll see. But here is my progress. I had to rip out part of this because it didn't line up, and then once I ripped out, I put it back and added some more on. I added that purple flower and then did this part. This is part of a stitch along for Stitching 911's Facebook group. You could pick any Carolyn Manning pattern. Let me open it all the way up. And there is no deadline. So I think that's the other part that I'm liking, that there's no deadline and I can just pick it up whenever I want to. But I'm seeing everybody else get theirs going, and there's a couple in there that I wish I would have picked, like the watermelon tourmaline one. Those colors are so pretty. And beachcomber, which I love beachcomber, and I saw that one this summer and I should have bought that one too, but blue is perfect. It's beautiful. My favorite color. I will get it done one day. This year, I don't know. Next year, I don't know. There's no deadline, so I'll just stitch it whenever I feel like. Last clip, I got cut off. I don't know what happened. And then I started another recording, and then my husband called. So this is take, I don't know, 14 of the same thing. So I don't know what part I said. I think I was talking about blue. So blue is for Stitching 911. It's a stitch along, no end date. Carolyn Manning, all the good things, pick what you want. The next thing I stitched on was sweater weather. I didn't get very much done. I did get the fox's sweater and the little blue jay part done. It goes really fast when I pick it up and stitch it, but most of my time was focused on the quilt behind me and the Christmas wreath by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So I plan on working on this one tonight. It is stitched on 28 count Monaco that I hand dyed myself with some black grit dye, and it turned out that really pretty gray. I talked about it a couple videos ago, if not the last video, then the video before. So there's that. This will be a Christmas gift when it's finished, and I plan on mounting it on those little sleighs I showed before. Speaking of Christmas gifts, oh no, let me go back. So I don't know, I'm sure you all know because you guys watch Stitching with the Housewives. And if you don't, you should. Priscilla and Chelsea are hilarious. But they're doing a stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. And it's Jolly Housewives is what it's called. You hashtag it. And any pattern that you're doing of theirs, you hashtag with the hashtag, and I'll put it on the bottom of the screen so we can follow the progress. And here's another one I'm doing as a Christmas gift. It is not actually a Christmas pattern, and I'm modifying it a little bit. This is the home pattern with the 2 chickens, and it'll say home in the cup, and it'll have a little yellow house. And the reason why I chose this one was my coworker's daughter has 2 chickens, and that's what her chickens look like, Gus and Mabel, which Gus is that one and Mabel is that one. And they have a little yellow house. So I plan on making this for her, maybe into an ornament for her Christmas tree, for all the eggs that she's given us over the last year, because her chickens have been laying, or were laying, a ton of eggs, and we were reaping the benefits. This one's stitched on 32 count petty point as well. It's just the piece from big chunk fabric that I had in gray and white. It is so tiny. I don't know, compared to my needle, you can see how small it is. I don't know, I should be done with that already, but I'm not. I put it to the side. I probably should finish that one first. Anyways, so this one is so cute, and maybe I'll focus on this one and sweater weather, and maybe I can have another FFO for the next video. That'd be awesome, right? Anyways, I'm rambling, don't mind me. So that's pretty much what I've been working on as far as stitching goes. Let me think. Yeah, as far as stitching goes, I did buy a few patterns on Saturday, for Cyber Saturday. A lot of places were having sales, which, gotta love a sale, right? So I went online and I bought Jolly St. Nick and Rudolph from Stitching with the Housewives. I got that from Fat Quarter Shop because they were having a sale. I also got Pine Mountain Designs Christmas Typography, and I'll post all the pictures one of those places. And the other one I got was from Lori Holt So She Did, which is a sewing machine with some writing, and I've admired that pattern for a long time, even before I started cross stitching again. And I figure it'll work out perfectly in this room. In case you couldn't tell, aqua is my favorite color, and the sewing machine is actually a really pretty aqua color, so I plan on putting that on this wall right here that you guys can't see, but I plan on putting it on that side right there. So that was my haul. I plan on getting some more things to stitch for Christmas, and also to do the Jolly Housewives stitch along. I need some more cute little patterns, and there's one from Priscilla and Chelsea that I love as well. So next video I should have that one as in for my haul. Alright, if you're not interested in quilting or any sewing things, you can go ahead and sign off, and thanks for joining me. And for those of you who are, I am going to show some things. So let me pull this up. You can see over my shoulder right there, that pile, it's a dinner plate with all these pieces cut, and they're ready to be sewn. And I got in the mood to sew a Christmas quilt because everybody in my family, except for me, and I mean everybody, like my parents, my sister, my brother, everybody has a quilt that I've made them, nieces, nephews, best friend, but I've never made one for myself, and if I have, it's in a drawer, not finished. So this year, hold me to it, this year I'm making myself a Christmas quilt. So this is the first panel. I got it done pretty quick. The most time consuming part was cutting the fabric, but this pattern is scrappy trip along. You cut 2.5-inch strips, and then you cut a coordinated color. Our Christmas tree is red, white, and black. And of course, like I said before, aqua is my favorite color, so I had to throw some of that in. And you can see, and I love polka dots, and I love gingham. And my daughter thinks I'm nuts because she said it's a Christmas quilt and I'll only have it out for Christmas, but little does she know, once it's finished, it's out all the time. I don't even care. It's going to be so cute. So I did get the first... light. The light fell. I did get the first panel done of 5. So there is that. I also made myself a new ironing board because the little ones that I put on this plastic table that's in front of me, you can't see, is too small for me to put the blocks on. So my daughter had a bookshelf that broke, and what I did was took one of the shelves and put the thermal batting on it, and cotton quilt batting, and just a piece of fabric that I had in my stash, and then I just stapled it to the board, and it's worked out perfect. It's just big enough to fit on this table, and then I can have the blocks on and press easily, and I just have it next to me while I'm sewing. I sew right here, and my ironing board's right here to my other side. So I made that this weekend too. It was a really quick make. I don't know why I didn't do it before, because I always have struggled with those little ones. And I hate going up and down the stairs just to iron. I would rather have it right next to me in my studio. I'll show you this. So here's some of the strips. I have them all separated and ready to go to sew. Don't want to mess them up because they're all on their little coordinating things. So hopefully, if I take the time, I won't have it done probably for Christmas. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Hold me to it. Maybe I will. That's why I'm doing a floss tube, right? For accountability. So, yep, that's what I have been working on these last 2 weeks. I can't believe how fast 2 weeks goes. I almost didn't do a video today because I figured I didn't have a whole lot to show. I did do some knitting. I guess I could show you that too since it's sitting here in front of me, but it wasn't a whole lot. I had showed these socks before. They were on my sock blocker, but this one, I just did a little bit more of the toe. But I hadn't done a whole lot of that because I was messing with cutting all that fabric and putting it in the order that I liked, which seems like that took forever, and it probably did. I also decided to pull out my photography lights, so hopefully this lighting situation, because the Pacific Northwest is turning dark really early. Before, at least in my first couple videos, I could use the natural light coming through the window in front of me, but now due to liquid sunshine and darkness at 4 o'clock, I pulled out my photography lights. So hopefully, let me know if it's better. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good 2 weeks of stitching, crafting, and doing all the things that you like to do. I will put the hashtags down there because I can't wait to see who's joining those stitch-alongs so I can see all their progress. And other than that, have a good night. Thanks for watching.